And let me introduce you. Okay. So I want to welcome everybody to our Thursday morning Zoom Jewel from our Jewels call. I'm pretty sure this is like our 9th one now, so it's very exciting. And this is our very first Man Ambassador one. So I'm very excited to have Jake on here. Johnny and I met them on the beach in Maui. It was very awesome. It was an ordained meeting because we hit it right off, and we ended up spending the whole evening with them and had dinner, and it was a blast. And I just love these guys. So I'm really excited to have him on the call today. And I'm going to pass it on over to Jake right now, and it's all yours, Jake.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, Cindy, and we love you and John too. We had a blast with you guys at all the trips and everything that we've gotten to visit with you guys. But sorry for being late here and causing a fuss, I'm sure. But I'll just jump right in. I am a Emerald Man Ambassador, proud to say, and I've been with Plexus for about 15 months. My wife started about 19 months ago, and she's Sapphire. So when she first started, her and like 2 of her friends, they had been on a little vacation together, and they got back and they're like, we've got to lose some weight. So they just solely focused on what can we do to lose weight. And Christy had told my wife about.
Oops. Are you there?
I've been muted. Can you hear me?
I got you. Sorry. That was me. Sorry.
So you got me. I'm good now?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. So Christy had told my wife about the products 6 months before, and she just wasn't interested at the time. But anyway, so she went back to Christy and was like, hey, we're going to give this a shot. And so she signed up solely as an ambassador just to get wholesale pricing. And then 2 of her friends bought from her. And so my wife quickly started losing weight and was feeling better and was in a great mood. And we've got 2 young kids. And so that was really a big deal for her to all of a sudden have this energy and kind of have a drive towards, doing life and making the most of it. And so when she saw those changes, she all of a sudden was just telling people about it and this and that. And I own a small business, and we have a lot of rental property. And so, and Timmy has 2 college degrees and was staying at home with our kids. And I was like, if you want to do something, like pick something that we already have on our plate, and you can dive in with that versus adding something to it. I just didn't feel like we had room to add anything else in there because it honestly, we felt like we had a full plate. And I also didn't want to sell anything. I just didn't want to be kind of associated with that situation. And so I was really, I guess you could say I was against it, honestly. And, Timmy started taking the products, and, I did see those changes, and I was grateful for that. But then Christy brought it up with Timmy that, Timmy would be good at the business and this and that. And so she wanted to come over and show us the business. And so I was like, we got all this going on, and we just can't do it right now. And Timmy didn't listen to me and invited Christy over. And so Christy was coming over that night, and Timmy texted me and said, hey, Christy's coming over. And I'm like, hey, tell Christy, don't waste her time. There's no way we're going to do this, and we just don't have time for it. And I still have that text, actually. It's funny. And so just like any good wife, she didn't listen to me at all. She did exactly the opposite of what I told her to do, or requested she did. And so Christy I get home from work, and Christy's there, and I'm like, and I knew Christy from growing up. And so I was like, Christy, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to do it, but if y'all want to do it, go ahead, and it's a hobby, and whatever y'all want to do, that's fine. Yeah. I said, but I do want to see pay stubs, because you're talking about, she was Ruby or making a couple $1,000s a month at this point. And I'm like, I want to know, I want to see, because I don't want to waste a bunch of time. And not get paid for it. And so she showed me the pay stubs, and I was like, okay, fine, do it. And when Timmy was losing the weight, and then she started the business, I wanted to keep myself separate from it because I didn't want to be diving into something or be involved with something that we shouldn't be, and I didn't want us to be kind of blinded by the money or the weight loss and get a bunch of our friends and family into something that's not so good. Oh. So I stayed separate from the whole situation, and the first month that my wife was in Plexus was May of 2014, and so that's when school's out here in Arkansas, and so the first 2 weeks we were in Florida on the beach with my family, and then there was another week that we were with her family, and so for 3 out of the 4 weeks we were on vacation. And she was constantly, and y'all know how it goes, it's like this talk to text deal, where it's like, okay, go to www.plexuslim.com/Timmy and click join. And, it's like all these directions. And I've heard it like constantly. I mean, we have a 10-hour drive to the beach and 10 hours home, and then at the beach and in the condo and going to eat and at dinner. It's just like this constant deal. And I'm like, oh my Lord, she's driving me crazy with this stuff. And then we get home, and this was before they started doing direct deposits. We get home, and we had a check for like $4,700 at our house from Plexus. And I'm like, I was skeptical before. Now I want to know what the heck's going on for real, because there's something illegal here. Like, what's going on? And so come to find out, she had fast started to senior gold and doubled all of her bonuses and like did all this stuff. And nobody in Arkansas even knew what fast starting was.
Oh my!
And she had fast started to senior gold. Oh. So I'm like, holy cow, we've really bitten off something here. I hope it's good. Mm-hmm. And so like a month later, she ended up winning the Silver Star trip. No, it was 2 months later, August. She won the Silver Star trip. So Silver Star trips where you get to go to corporate headquarters and you take the tour, and they kind of
spoil you,
let you in on the corporate side of everything. Yeah. And so we go there, and I was still being very skeptical and like cautious about what we were getting into. And so I go into this thing, and I'm like, you know what? There's something going on here, and I'm going to find out what it is. I was like, I know there's a closet somewhere full of children counting pills and bottling them up, or, just something crazy like that I had in my mind. And so we were taking the tours, and there was 2 other couples with us. And so they were taking the tour, and I would like fake phone calls and wander around the hallways of corporate, and I'd be like, I need to find the bathroom, and was looking indoors and down hallways and kind of eavesdropping on conversations. And, and I did that for a day and a half, and I honestly found nothing other than the exact opposite of what I was looking for. I found people that are happy in a corporate setting, that love their jobs, that are doing the right things, and are people that you can trust your future with, and know that, they're making good judgments on our behalf and have our best interests in heart. And I knew at that point that I was okay with it. And so I, decided to start helping her and was referring people to her. And then in, I think it was October, I want to say, but anyways, it was somewhere right in fall. She was trying to win the Lids Retreat shopping spree. Mm-hmm. So she signed me up, and that's when we started building my team. I think she was Ruby at that point, or maybe even senior Ruby. But so we start building my team, and so now kind of my perspective on it is I love working the business with my wife. We have a good time doing it. It's before Plexus, Timmy and I could not even clean the kitchen together. It was like you do it or I do it. Uh-huh. It just doesn't matter. Like, we're not going to do it together, because apparently some people find it very offensive if you tell them those cups don't go there.
Right.
So, you know, it's just, it's an outbreak versus just getting the kitchen clean. But, we just we didn't even go there. But through Plexus, we've really grown our relationship to a point where, you know, we just went to Canada and did Super Saturday together, and we're on stage for 4.5 hours together, and it went great, you know. And so it's fun to see our relationship grow along with our Plexus business, and it's been a lot of fun doing that. The other thing that really sold me on Plexus was just seeing my friends and family transform their health. You know, my best friend in the world, and it's actually my business partner in our tire store. His name's Jake Sky Eagle, and he is 6'4", 400 pounds, and I'm 6'10", 250. And so we're both named Jake, and so we have a tire shop, and it's called Big Jake's. Imagine that. But so the joke is, you know, who's Big Jake? And we always joke that I have to duck to go through doorways, and he has to turn sideways. And so it's just kind of like, it's funny, but it's also, I'm concerned about his health. And about 6 months ago, no, it was longer than that. It's been almost a year. Jake had a hernia and had to have emergency surgery and was on bed rest. And so he was at like 455 pounds when he checked into the hospital. And I just knew that he was going to 500 pounds because he was, you know, he had an active job, and now he was going on bed rest. And so I was like, Jake, look, man, you know, if nothing else, I know you're not going to be able to walk. You're going to be relying on your wife and kids to help you get up to go to the bathroom. Like, man, you're gonna have to watch what you eat. But I said, if you'll start the triplex at least, that will help, you know, help your gut and you know, your cravings and all that stuff. Because he self-admittedly, he was eating 5 full-size candy bars a day, as like, I mean, on top of breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, whatever. So, I mean, it was like, you know, 2,000 calories of freaking chocolate a day. And so he started the triplex on bed rest. He went to 1 fun size Twix a day his first week. And he eventually lost 70 pounds through the triplex on his bed rest.
Wow.
Yeah. And so it literally, you know, saved my best friend from going to 500 pounds, and he's got, you know, teenage kids, and, you know, so it was just going to be a nightmare for them. And so once I saw that just really happen, I you know, I couldn't help but start seeing situations that I knew I could help with and had products that would assist in whatever they had going on, and started sharing with people. And my favorite story is, you know, I try to eat healthy, stay away from fast food if nothing else. And so I stopped in this barbecue place one day, and it's about an hour from where I live. And I was working out in that area and just stopped in, and it was like 2 o'clock. So it was after lunch, and nobody was in there. There was just one other guy. And so they sit me down, and I'm eating next to this guy, and they come in, and he was done eating, and he was a bigger guy. And I'd heard through the conversations that he was the owner of the building, not the restaurant, just the building. And so he was sitting there eating, and they'd come in, and the waitress comes by and she says, "Do you want another glass of sweet tea?" In Arkansas, sweet tea is like, I mean, that's a staple. Like, there's very few people that don't drink sweet tea with their lunch, and it's very sweet, and it's like the biggest glass. It's like a Route 44 from Sonic, just a huge glass. And so she comes by, like, "Do you want a sweet tea?" And he's like, "No, I can't drink this much anymore." He said, I've been having to have a nap in the afternoons, and I want this sweet tea, but I can't do it. And so I I just mentioned to him, I said, hey man, I said, there's a product out there called Slim that it's a pink drink. Have you heard of it? And he said, no, I've never heard of it. And I said, well, it'll help curb your cravings and will even levelize your blood sugars, which is causing your crash in the afternoon. And so we started talking about it, and I gave him a card and some samples, and the waitress overheard us talking about it. And she said, well, my son and grandson are both diabetics. Do you think this will help them? I said, oh, sure. It's been known to help lots of diabetics, and they should give it a try. And I said, I'm out of samples, but and the guy was like, oh, well, let me give her one so they can at least try and see what they taste like. I'm like, all right. So she said, hey, this other waitress over here, she's working 3 jobs. She's going through divorce, and she's just putting in all these hours. And I said, well, there's a business aspect to this too. And she's like, well, go talk to her. And so I go over, and before I left that day, I signed up an ambassador and gave her 3 customers before I walked out the door.
Wow.
So, it's weird how if you listen to what people say, what it can lead to. And, it's not that that's all I do all day is listen for people to tell me. It's just I'm in there. I'm just halfway on the phone, halfway eating my lunch, halfway listening to what's going on around me, and it just pops up, And so to me, I don't know, Cindy, are these like Golden Above, or who's on the call here?
Golden Above. Okay.
So generally everybody went to Super Saturday and has seen the success kit, but inside the success kit, they talk about your Frank's list, your friends, relatives, kids, neighbors, all, and then the S is social. What is it, Cindy?
Social media, right?
What is the S? Maybe social media, but it's not strangers. So I say Frank's because my favorite thing is strangers, and they didn't put it on there. But just talking to people, especially if you're Golden Above, odds are you've eliminated a large portion of your friends, relatives, your warm contacts. Yes. You've already eliminated a lot of those. So to add to your business and continue to grow your business, you've got to reach out to those strangers and people that you maybe haven't had contact with in a long time to continue to build your business. And so I'll just tell you how I do that. And what I do is, whether it's through a message, whether it's through a post on Facebook, or a direct message through Facebook, or just meeting someone out in public, basically what I say is, I'll say, hey, I'm sending out samples today of Plexus. They're known for their pink drink, but they've got a line of great products that are transforming people's health. My wife lost 25 pounds. My best friend in the world lost 70 pounds. It's great for diabetics. And if I send you some samples, will you give it a shot? What's your address? And I'll mail you some. And that's just a really easy thing. It's easy for me to say it to them.
Yeah.
And it's also easy for them to respond to it. So it's not harsh. It's not like a hard sell. It's just me saying, if I send you some samples, or if I give you samples, will you try them? Mm-hmm. And they can say no, and you can just walk off, or you can say, well, you can rebuttal to whatever their no is. And so, and I don't know how much y'all do that, but I'll tell you, the first few times I tried doing that, I was terrible at it. And, but just like anything else, the more I practiced and the more I did it, the better I got at it. And I was not nervous about it anymore. I didn't feel awkward about it anymore. I didn't make it awkward for them anymore. So it just kind of flows. And if you add it, once you get Plexus added into your breathing, I mean, it's almost like a sixth sense of, it's just like you breathe without having to think about it. I mean, you're at the grocery store and you hear somebody talking about being tired. It's just, you conversate with them for a second and then you introduce a pink drink to them. It's pretty low key. It's not, a big to do about anything. It's just, you just kind of go with it. So, but that's where I'm at with my business, and, absolutely love the products and the business. And, Cindy, is there anything specific you want me to add or talk about, or is there any questions?
Would you mind if sending us like a little sample of send it to me what you say again, and I'll put it in the file in the Jewel from the Jewels for everybody to see.
Okay. Sure. And along with that is your elevator speech.
Yes.
And that's kind of what I do there. But I mean, to me, that's a really important part of what we do, is because if you add it into your life to a point where you are talking about Plexus here or there, you don't want to spend a lot of time, and you don't want to try to tell everybody every single thing there is to know about Plexus. You want to give them just enough to be curious about it, and then close the deal from there.
Now, I have a question. How do you get your ambassadors that you sign up? Because you and Timmy both have gotten like this team in 15 months that's huge. How do you get them to go like from taking the products to going, I'm going for this, I'm building this business? What do you?
Well, and honestly, we've not been very good at that. We are. Well, we've got people that are. We've got 3 jewels underneath us. Yeah. But the thing that we just noticed that we've been doing bad at is retaining customers and ambassadors, and growing ambassadors from silver to gold. And so one thing that it's an initiative that we actually just started about a month ago, and it's Chris McCall's program, and they do a few things that, I mean, I never thought about, and you also wouldn't think that this would be this big of a deal. But so what we've implemented is, and it's very hard for us to go back now. I mean, we're having to work extra hard at it to train this from the top down versus training it from the top up like the McCalls have.
Right.
So what they do is they try to get everybody that they sign up to go silver within 72 hours.
Okay.
And that sounds kind of a bit ridiculous at first, but
I love it.
When you think about it, it's really not, because the first thing that we do is we say, hey, you just signed up as an ambassador, make your Frank's list, and then what we were before just saying, make your Frank's list and just communicate with whoever is on that list, But now what we're able to do is we're able to say, okay, make your Frank's list. Out beside their name, write down, do they want the business? Are they diabetic? Do they need weight loss? Do they need energy? And off of that list, try to go silver in 72 hours. Communicate with those people to a point where the expectation is that you're going to get 3 people to join you. And they've had huge success with it. Their retention rate is like double what ours is. Right. And that's big. So and what's cool is they have had their level. They've had 3 levels go silver in 10 days.
Wow.
So you think about somebody goes silver, one of their ambassadors goes silver, one of their ambassadors goes silver.
How exciting.
So in 10 days, that person just on that leg, that top ambassador is halfway to gold.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So, yeah, it's crazy. And the other thing that they do is they post on yard sale websites through Facebook. I don't know if y'all have done that or not, but there's some packaged stuff that you can send that it's like work from home stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, you just post it on there and you get a bunch of comments and it kind of starts a conversation with people. All right. And then my favorite thing that they do, and this is, I wish we'd have been doing this a year ago because we were using our team page the wrong way. And I don't know how you do it, Cindy, but we could not have been using it any worse. We've got we're adding all these people on this Facebook page, right? Well, when Cindy gets an ambassador to join, Cindy goes on and says, hey, team, would like for you to welcome Sarah to our team. Okay. So 3 people go and say, hi, Sarah, welcome. Thank you for joining our team. Right. Then what happens?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody in the other portion of the Facebook world even knows that Sarah joined our Plexus team.
Right.
Sarah got absolutely nothing out of it. Cindy got absolutely nothing out of it. And the people that commented welcome just wasted their time.
Right.
It's polite, but it's worthless. So what they do is they say, okay, Cindy goes on the Facebook page, on our team page and says, hey guys, Sarah just made her first Plexus post, go blow it up. Sarah has to make it public so that everybody can comment on it. But what happens is now our team goes over there, works as a team, comments on Sarah's post and shows before and afters, talks about their business successes, talks about health testimonies, whatever you can copy and paste it every stinking time. But what happens is Facebook sees all that activity and they go, oh, Sarah's post was very popular. So guess what? We're going to show that to a bunch more people. So right. Facebook shows it to a bunch more people through the algorithm. And then when those people see that, they see, oh, there's 30 comments on there. I want to read the comments. Well, what do those people do? They go, oh my gosh, 30 people. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's just, it just blows up a lot quicker than when you're just hiding it inside the team page. So and then Sarah says, oh man, I'm part of a team and I feel good about that. And I want to work hard to be part of that team. Right. And so I really am enjoying that portion of what we're doing now.
I love that. That is huge. Yeah. I think that's something that all of us on here can implement. All 4 of those things that or 3 you said: silver within 72 hours, post on the yard sale sites, and then do that welcome post in your team page for everybody to go on. That's huge. I love that.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Yep. Well, we've appreciated everything you've shared, Jake. You're awesome.
All right. Well, thank y'all. And sorry I was late, but hopefully we got a good call in here, and call me anytime, Cindy.
We did. And I'm looking for your wife. I've already asked her maybe to be on like the end of the month, so she could share on.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Get my better half on there. She's way better than I am.
Knock it off. You're good.
All right. Well, we will see you in